Hello, I'm Nelson Ford from the Gunsmith in Phoenix, Arizona. And this display is in response to a guy that liked the 30 Model 34 nickel plate in the last video. As I mentioned the 35 Smith, and I actually mentioned it in my shop today, and I had three aficionados at those Smith & Wessons. And I said, what is a 35? And they didn't know. And it's a J-frame, 6-inch, and a 6-inch 22 J-frame. And it's really an unusual bird. They made it these from 53. It was a model of 53 originally, and then they after 1957 they gave it the moniker Model 35, and they made it until 1973. And I've heard people say on different forums that they made a lot of them. I've seen 3 or 4 of them in my life. And so I don't know. Maybe they did. I think he said 100,000. I severely doubt that. But what we should know is that this is actually how the gun came to us. Um, in 1896, they came out with the Smith& Wesson swing-out cylinder. That's my gun. And I love it because it's the first of its style. Swing-out cylinder, double action, etc. It still displays the top cylinder lock, and it has no thumb release latch, so you pull the rod out to get the cylinder out. But that's where it started, and that's the 32. The New York City police use these. In the early 1900s, people said, can you make that in 22 caliber? 22 was cheaper to shoot. It wasn't a center fire, and people could buy it off the shelf. And they said, no, we were happy with 32. And they made it all the way to 1908, where they were having problems before that people wanted a 22 long rifle on this frame. And a man named Bekeart from San Francisco said, why don't you make them? And they said, well, because we have to retool for it. It's a different firing pin system, a different barrel, different this, that, and the other. And he said, how many do I have to order? And they said 1,000. And he said, good, I can write a check. And they said, no, 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 we'll start making them and shipping them to you. And they ended up shipping, maybe it was earlier than 1908, because I think in 1908 it made the catalog. But they shipped them around 250, maybe 260. And they said, we're just going to put it as a standard catalog variation. And they made it in a 6-inch version. And of course, you can tell the round barrel that makes it before 1940. And this is the Bekeart. It had a smaller, because Bekeart ordered them, it had a shorter cylinder and a smaller trigger guard, which we've discussed on I frames versus J frames before. And so once they cataloged these things, they sold like hotcakes. They realized that the public spoke, and they produced them and they bought them. And then there was a call for a more compact model, perhaps a 4-inch with a round butt, something in that category, smaller. And they said, no, we don't want to make them. We're selling lots of these. Why should we make a 4-inch? And this went on for 28 years that people were asking for the 4-inch. Finally, in 1936, they came up with the 4-inch 22 on the I-frame. Still the small trigger guard, short cylinder. And they made, I think, 1,000 of these before the war started. And then, of course, all commercial guns stopped. And so prior to World War II, the rare one is the 4-inch. After World War II, the rare one is the 6-inch. And people don't even know this model exists. But prior to the war, this is what they had to deal with. This is what they saw. And you'll see lots of little articles about guys saying, that's my first gun. I had a Bekeart. It wasn't a real Bekeart, but it was a Bekeart. And they meant a 6-inch I-frame. What we see today mostly is not the 35. In fact, they haven't made it since 73. But we see the kit gun. This was made from 1953 to 1991. Sad day in America when they stopped making these guns, because it was such a small and comfortable little gun to pack. They called it the kit gun. They would fit in a kit, a tool kit, a tackle box, if you would. And they, of course, the post-war ones have the ribbon on them, and the action's slightly different. They have a coil spring behind the hammer instead of a leaf. But that's the kit gun of today. The 4-inch was a big deal, and now all the ones you see. This is actually another model 34 in a 2-inch. This is a rare variation. They're worth a little bit more, but this is what you see today in, I don't know, 10 shots. How many they put in them? 8, 9, 10 shots, and maybe an 8-shotter. And they have them in hammerless and lightweight, and they're carry guns and all sorts of things. So this is really the only thing that survived was the short-barreled one. But again, before the war, the 4-inch was the rare one. And if you're a staunch collector of Smith & Wessons and you like 22s, this is a model you should look for because they made very few of them. And my son keeps telling me I got to thank the people that loaned me these. We got them in just a few days because this video came out last Friday, and here we are next Friday with a 35. And so the guy that said he wanted to see one, there's one right there. There's another thing I'd like to do though. This looks like a normal shooting gun to you, but the K22 that we know today is a much bigger gun and much heavier. And that's one of the things about the little kit guns that I like so much. Little kids can pick them up and shoot them and enjoy them. And you can tune the action a little bit, get them to shoot double action, and they can start training on a little 22 J-frame. So, and you should notice that the trigger guards are much bigger on the post-war J-frames, and the cylinders are also much longer. The cylinder was actually made longer on the post-war J-frames to accommodate the 38 Special, and that was the big deal about those. But anyway, there's a kind of a quick little display. We put this thing together in a few days. I have a fascination for the little tiny guns, and we'll talk about those a little bit in a video sometime. If you have any questions or comments on the kit guns, this is a pre-war kit gun, post-war kit gun. Kit guns are referred to the 4-inchers. Leave me your comments or questions, and I'd love to talk about these little guns more because they fascinate me. I just love the little Smiths. So have a great night. Thanks for watching.